Time now for Focus, and we're asking today, would you take in a refugee in your spare room? It might sound like a strange question, but it is what's increasingly happening in Germany. The country's overwhelmed with asylum seekers, the biggest receiving country in the European Union, and expected to take in another 250,000 this year. With state reception centres full, disused industrial sites and barracks have been taken over too as temporary housing. Our correspondents have been to meet some of the ordinary Germans offering up their guest beds and sofas as space grows increasingly tight.
Every time he gets the chance, Karim practices his German with his flatmate Mareike.
Nicht mehr gesehen.
And do you know what it means?
Ja, it's been so long we didn't see each other.
It seems like normal student life, but Karim has no papers. Originally from Senegal, he travelled across Italy to reach Germany. After 2 months living on the streets, he found this accommodation through a private initiative.
We lead a quiet life. In the morning we wake up, sometimes we're in the kitchen together, we eat together. Everyone does what they want. Then I go out to school or look for work. This is a great opportunity for me, and it's an opportunity to learn the language and also organize myself.
Mareike and her friends are appealing to people to host refugees in their spare rooms. They came up with the idea a few months ago as a response to the growing number of asylum seekers.
It was clear to us that we wanted to give our support, and we wanted other people who lived in shared living apartments to also accept people. We decided to try and make this happen, and we are really surprised by how well it's going. We have so far had over 520 applications from different apartments.
A way to show solidarity, but also to denounce the state of asylum seeker accommodation. Since last year, the refugee centres are overwhelmed. Living conditions there are increasingly precarious. People in the Buch district of Berlin are lining up to see a small container town be hastily constructed. 480 refugees will live here. The construction has been controversial for months.
What I find terrible is that this kind of solution is necessary. It's still sad to subject people to these conditions.
I worry about my children. I'm afraid of crime. I don't know if it's all true, but from what we see on TV, things have gone wrong in other places where they have these containers.
This is the third container town to be built in Berlin in recent months. Everyone here is aware that it can only be a temporary solution for both refugees and local residents.
We underestimated the numbers for ages, and now we have to make up for lost time. The number of refugees will continue to increase, and there'll be a need for new centres. But I don't think we'll continue to build these containers.
Throughout the city, there is a need for buildings to house refugees. Yvonne Lieske works for an institution that is responsible for finding accommodation. It is extending its capacity and relies more and more on the help of volunteers to respond to the crisis.
The rise in the number of asylum seekers is huge, and we're doing everything possible to cope. And we really need the help of neighbours, people with a variety of jobs who can help in different ways.
A network of 160 people who give language lessons to children, help adults with their paperwork and collect donations. They do everything they can to compensate for the lack of official support.
In the long term, we are trying to help them find a job and an apartment. There's a lot to do, because everything for refugees is so complicated, especially anything that has to do with bureaucracy.
Given the urgency, the government has allocated 500 million euros this year to help municipalities. But the country will also need to overhaul its asylum policy. The opposition is campaigning for an end to shelters.
We must find a decentralized way to host refugees in apartments. If we continue to ghettoize them, they will remain on the margins of society. We must avoid doing that because we know that many of them will stay in Germany.
Karim is determined to rebuild his life here with the help of his flatmates. Of the 200,000 refugees that arrived in Germany in 2014, only half succeeded like him to find accommodation.
That report from our team in Germany.